Hi, in today's video I'm going to show you how to do the treble stitch. So this is my sampler square. Hopefully you've already done my videos for the double crochet and the half treble. Just a reminder, obviously this is in UK terms. In American terms this would be a double. So we're doing the treble in UK terms, so I'm just going to pop that to one side. Hopefully at this point you've already done quite a few slip knots and chains, but if not, I'll just do you a quick overview. So we're going to pop the yarn over our first finger, take the long yarn at the back and cross it over the front of our finger. So it makes this cross here. Tip your finger to the front, and then we take this back loop over the front one and off our finger, and then pull on the tail, and that draws it to a knot. I am doing a slightly bigger hook for my chain, so I'm using double knitting wool as before, and which normally is a 4mm hook, but I'm using a 5. We're going to pop that into the loop and then pull the long one like so. And your yarn should always be, your work and your tail will be at the front, and your yarn that you're working with will always be at the back. And we're going to do those chains, so make sure that this can move. Popping my finger onto here, yarn over like so, holding that slip knot with your finger and thumb and moving that hook, so make sure you're letting the hook do the work for you. And then as it catches the yarn, turn the hook down and pull it through that loop. And today we're going to do 27 chains, so 1, 2, 27, and then I'm going to change to the smaller hook like so. So once we've got our chains, we're then going to do the yarn over, and this time we're working in the third chain from the hook, because for a treble I use a turning chain of 2. Some people may use 3, but I find that's a bit too much for my attention, so I use a turning chain of 2. So that means starting in the third chain, so skipping the first one, second one, and into here. So yarn over into that third one, yarn over and carry it through 1, pushing it all on, yarn over and carry it through 3, I've gone for a half treble, carry it through 2, and then yarn over again and carry it through 2 more. So we'll go again with that. So we do yarn over into that next chain, yarn over through 1, yarn over through 2, yarn over again and through 2, yarn over into the next chain, yarn over through 1, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. And we're going to repeat this now in every chain till we get to the end. Okay, so it's yarn over into your chain, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2 again, yarn over into the next chain, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. So hopefully you've got the hang of that. So we're just going to carry on now, going into every chain until we get to the end. And then we're coming up to the last one. So there's the slip knot and the last chain, so into there, like so. And then you can see like this. So the main reason, I don't think I've mentioned it in the other videos, but the main reason why I use the chain, the hook for the chain in a bigger size, is if it pulls it too tight, it can kind of go this way, so that all your stitches start to fan out, and your chain curves like this. So if you're finding that that's what's happening with your work, you need to go up a hook size, and it should then hopefully stay flat like that and nice and straight. But also, obviously also go back down to your 4 for when you're doing your actual stitches, otherwise it won't work. So we're now going to do a chain of 2, like so, and then we're going to turn it. So very similar to before, but we're doing a chain of 2 now. So now we're going to ignore those 2 chains that we've just done. 1 and 2, and that one there is the first actual stitch from down here, as you can see there. So we're doing yarn over, and you can see that gap there. So you see these gaps, that's where we're going to go. When we go in that gap, that should have that V on our hook. Yarn over through the V, yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2 again. So yarn over in that space under the V, yarn over through the V, yarn over through 2, and yarn over through 2. Yarn over in there, yarn over through the V, yarn over through 2, yarn over through 2. In there, yarn over and through 2 and through 2. And we're going to do this now until the other end. And we're almost at the end now. And you can see we've just got this bump here, which means we've got one more to go. So if you look for that bit there, and there is the last V. So that first one, when you get to your first end, that can be a little bit tricky, but it gets easier on the next ones. So that's there, and then your chain of 2 to turn it again. Let's just have a look. So it should be looking something like this. And then you're going to work back and forth as before, doing a chain 2 at each end and then working into these stitches. And you're just going to carry on like that now until it's square. So as I showed you at the beginning, this one is mine. So it should look something like that. And then if you just cut the yarn and pull it through the loop to finish it off. As I've said before, I'll do another video for showing you how to join these together and to do little edges on them. Because as you can see, this one's got a little bit of a bumpy edge, which is not ideal. You want to look neater, so we're going to work on doing an edge around these, and I'll do that in a later video. So I hope you'll keep following me and keep doing some of these stitches, and we can create this nice simply blanket together.